Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dave from Chase the Summit, and today we're going to be talking about a highly requested new app that has appeared on the Garmin Connect IQ store for Garmin watches, and that is YouTube Music. This is something that a lot of users for a couple of years now have been requesting. Even back when it was Google Music and not YouTube Music, people wanted the Google Music service on their Garmin watch. And I'm happy to report that it is now available and you can download it and install it and use it right now. This is gonna be a super quick video just sort of explaining how to set it up because it's not totally straightforward and how it works and all that fun stuff. But before we get there, let's talk about compatible watches. For the most part, most modern day Garmin watches that were released in the past couple of years are supported by YouTube Music. However, there's a few missing from the list, and that's kind of strange. I'll put the list up on the screen here and scroll through it so you can pause and see all the supported models. For the purpose of this video, I'll be mainly talking about my experience with YouTube Music on my Garmin Forerunner 965 that I have here because that's the watch I've been wearing most often lately. When it comes to setting up YouTube Music on your Garmin watch, you're going to need your phone to do this. And to do that, you do need to install the Connect IQ app on your phone. This is different than Garmin Connect. That's where all of your data and sleep history is. This is the app store for Garmin called Connect IQ. It's an entirely separate app. To download Garmin Connect IQ, you can simply head into your Garmin dashboard, click on your device in the top right corner, scroll down, and eventually you'll see something that says Connect IQ. And when you click that, it will send you in the right direction to install Connect IQ on your phone as well. Once you have Garmin Connect IQ up and running and you've logged in, it's pretty simple from there. All you've got to do is either search for YouTube Music or just click the music section. They have like a whole section with Spotify and all the other music apps in there, and YouTube Music is right near the top of that list now. And then from there, simply click download. Duh. One quick note, I noticed that the app on the Garmin Connect IQ App Store only has 3.6 stars right now, and I can't help but wonder why, because it does work pretty well, but I do think some people had an issue with the next couple of steps leading into the installation on your watch. Once you have the app installed on your watch, the watch will actually pop up with a little dialogue that says, open up Garmin Connect and sign into YouTube Music. And this is where it got a little bit confusing because I opened up Garmin Connect, I looked in my music section, I looked in the settings, I looked in Garmin Connect IQ, and I found nowhere that suggested to sign into the YouTube Music app. However, after I fiddled around a little bit in the Garmin Connect app, I did actually get a notification that popped up and that asked me to log in to YouTube Music in my Safari browser on my iPhone. And once you get to that step, that's when your watch will actually display a unique 9-digit code. It might be 9 digits, it might be different for you. And that's the code you will have to enter into your phone into the YouTube Music app in order to sync Garmin Connect and YouTube Music. Another quick note before we move on, you will need Wi-Fi enabled on your watch for this all to work. Once you get through all of those steps, you're pretty much done. And that's where I'm standing now here. And you can see I've got my entire library of all of my playlists and all of my recent music and everything available right here on my watch. One thing to note though is that they are not available to stream on my watch. So if I want to play any of this stuff, for example, if I dive into my podcast here, check out the Chase the Summit Trail Talk podcast, by the way, linked in the description down below. You can see I have all of my podcast episodes here, episode 64, 63, and all the way back in time. And if I want to download any particular podcast, I do have to click on it and it will actually start downloading. You can see there it says this will take a few minutes. And in my experience, this will vary depending on your Wi-Fi signal. In my house, we have really good Wi-Fi. It's like gigabit up and down. And so downloading one episode of my podcast that's about an hour long only took me about 3 to 4 minutes, which is pretty quick. But this will totally depend on what kind of Wi-Fi you have and what kind of signal you have on your watch. Generally speaking though, the YouTube Music app on the Garmin watch here does work pretty well. Even scrolling back a little bit further, it's really responsive. The little thumbnail icons update pretty quickly, and everything just works pretty well in my experience so far. Music definitely downloads quicker than podcasts because podcasts are very long, obviously, but generally the user interface is very straightforward and simple. Another thing to keep in mind before you go and try to play back music is that you will need a pair of earbuds to actually listen to the music because your Garmin watch doesn't have a speaker on board to play back the music. And you'll notice that anytime you try to play any audio from your Garmin watch, for example, I'll hit play on what I just downloaded here, it's going to ask me to connect connect to my headphones. And to do that, all I got to do is open up my earbuds here, click the pair button, make sure they're in pairing mode. And now I'll click the connect to headphones button here. It's gonna search for my headphones. And there you can see that the BeatFit Pros showed up. I'm gonna go ahead and click add, and they're all connected and ready to go. So now when I hit play, I can put my earbuds in and I can hear myself. That's fun. So you might be wondering, why would I install this app on my watch and go through the headache of this whole process when I already have YouTube Music on my phone? Well, the whole purpose of this is that the music or podcast is offline on your watch. So there's no Wi-Fi or cellular connection required because you've previously downloaded the audio to your watch. So now you can head off in the backcountry on a trail, go on your trail run or hike or whatever, and still listen to your music without your phone, without a cellular connection. The great thing about Garmin's these days is that there's so many options with music services now. Now with YouTube Music on board, there's Amazon Music, there's Spotify, iHeartRadio. There's a lot of options out there. The only thing missing that everyone's still requesting is Apple Music. And unfortunately, we will never see Apple Music on a Garmin device. Mark my words, it could happen. I guess anything could happen, but I don't think Apple would ever allow that to happen. So there's that. All right, friends, that's the end of this short and sweet video. Hopefully you found it helpful. Hopefully you didn't know about this already and you learned something new today. And if you did learn something new, head down to the thumbs up button and subscribe button down below and hit those because it really helps me out and you'll see more videos like this in the future. And while you're down there, check out all the links in the description. I'll have all of the watches linked that I've talked about here. I also have this t-shirt and hat I'm wearing linked down there as well. So go check out the merch store, check out my podcast channel, check out all the things I got linked down below. Okay? I got to say those things. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye.